morning, welcome back. Today we are getting started on a big garage project. We are going to be building huge garage shelves and adding some different organization accessories to them to just help add organization to our garage, and I also want to make them look a little bit nicer than your typical garage shelving. But we are currently dealing with a pretty big problem because our garage is a huge hot mess. Basically, since we moved into this house, we have just been kind of throwing everything in the garage. It's just been a dumping place for anything and everything that just didn't have a spot otherwise inside of the house or anywhere else. It's really gotten out of control. It's very embarrassing, and it's just stressing me out every time we're in this garage trying to work, or if our kids come out here to play with any outdoor toys. Also, we cannot build the shelves because they're going to be huge. They're going to be 8 feet until we clear all this clutter out. So what we decided to do was rent a moving truck to put everything into, get it out of the garage so we can actually build the shelves and have a place to put things. And then we're going to do a major decluttering of everything and donating things, throwing things out. But this video today is really just going to focus on the shelving. But before we can get started, Brandon and I are going to go ahead and move everything out into the moving truck. Another perk of having this moving truck is that we were able to get our plywood sheets cut in half at the store to 2 feet by 8 feet and easily transport them home. With everything cleared out of the garage, Brandon is going to prime and paint the bare drywall on the walls and ceiling before we build our shelves. Not only will this look nicer, but this garage has a not so pleasant garage smell. Do you know what I'm talking about? So I'm hoping that the primer and paint help eliminate that.
I love ceilings.
Glad it's not me. Brandon just wrapped up painting the ceiling and the walls, and it looks really great, although his hair not so much. We are going to get started with the garage shelves now. And I'm going to have build plans and a step-by-step tutorial available for these on my blog, which I'll link below this video. So if you want to make the same project, you can do that. These garage shelves are going to be really simple to build. We're going to start by making the cuts for the frame out of the 2x4s and then drilling pocket holes with the Craig jig so that we can easily join the frame boards together. About the way we designed these shelves was that the long part of the frame are full 8-foot 2x4s, so we didn't have to make any cuts on these, which was great. Now I'm just going to space the shorter boards with the pocket holes evenly apart from each other and attach everything together with wood glue and crate screws. Alright, Brandon and I finished assembling the first frame, we ended up having to place it on the ground because it was about the same width as our workbench, so we just found it easier for attaching it to do it on the ground. The wood is a little bowed, but hopefully it all works out in the end. So now at this point, we just have to build 3 more of these, so we have 4 shelf frames. So now we can move forward with installing these shelf frames to the vertical 2x4 boards and get these garage shelves nearly completed. We're going to just lay them on the ground again to attach them because I think that's going to be the easiest way to do it. As far as the distance goes between each shelf, you can change it the way you want. I'll have what I'm doing in the plans, but we designed ours just to have enough distance for the storage totes that we bought. So we just about finished installing the first vertical 2x4 and we realized that we had the board flipped the wrong way, and so we're going to have to just take these off really quick before the wood glue sets and flip the board and fix it. And then we'll be finished with the first one and we can move on and do the second 2x4 vertical board. Alright, now that both sides are attached, I think the best way to do this is going to be to turn it up on the side and put the board underneath and drill down that way.
Yeah.
We'll see. Hopefully we have enough clearance. When designing these shelves, I didn't want them to look like basic garage shelves. I wanted to level them up a bit and make them look a little nicer than your basic garage shelving. So we are going to prime and paint the frame black before we install the plywood shelves. Alright, so we just got a coat of primer on. We had barely enough primer, and now we are racing to get the first coat of black paint on these before we have to pick our kids up. And then tonight we can do the second coat and they'll be all ready to have the shelves, the plywood shelves installed on them in the morning. Brandon and I wrapped up the second coat of paint last night after the kids went to bed, and this morning in the sunlight, I think it looks so good. I love the black paint and I'm glad we made the time and effort to do it. I'm really excited though to wrap this project up today and get the plywood shelves installed. We're just going to nail them into place. We did have to trim like 1/8 off of the length of them so that they're an easy fit, because the 2x4s were 8 feet and then the plywood itself was exactly 8 feet, so it was really tight and we would have had to like bang them in there with a mallet to get them in, and I didn't want to scratch up the paint finish. So we just went ahead and trimmed them real quick. Okay, let's get this project finished. We trimmed the boards so they would go in easy, and they're still tight. We are all finished with building our garage shelves. I love how they turned out. The very last thing we need to do in these shelves is secure them to the wall, but we have a concrete ledge along the floor, so we need to figure out kind of how to work around that. Make sure you're following along, because next week I'm going to be sharing some garage organization projects along this wall, including some storage for these shelves and a few other organization projects along this wall that are going to be more functional for the space, but also look nice. As always, thank you so much for watching and following along.